Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Flying Dutchman MTG. Today, I would like to talk to you about one of my favorite commanders, which is Gonti, Lord of Luxury. And the deck is basically built around casting Gonti, sacrificing Gonti, reanimating Gonti, steal my opponent's win cons and win with them, because my only win con in the deck is the infinite combo with Chain of Smog and Professor Onyx, but we'll get to that later. Gonti is a 3/4 with Death Touch for 4 mana, and it says when Gonti, Lord of Luxury, enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library, exile one of them face down, then put the rest on the bottom of that library in a random order. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. So that's the commander. This one is signed by Gavin Verhey, Josh Lee Kwai, and Jimmy Wong at MagicCon in 2024, not the one that was a couple of weeks ago. Alright. So, like I said, it's all about playing my opponent's cards. Gonti is one of the things that takes my opponent's cards, and I have a suite of other cards that also take cards from my opponent's libraries and lets me play them. First off is Nashi, Moonsage Scion. When Nashi connects, all players, including myself, exile the top card from their library, and I may pay life to cast one of those cards. Thieving Amalgam, late game for 7 mana, is at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep that player manifests the top card. I manifest the top card of that player's library. It becomes a 2/2, and I can turn it face up for the mana cost if it's a creature. Rev, the Tide Extractor, gives one of my attacking creatures Death Touch, and when that creature connects, or whenever a creature connects with an opponent, exile the top card of their library face down and get a treasure. So it's a very expensive black Ragavan, I guess. Gonti Night Minister says whenever a player casts a spell they don't own, create a treasure token. And then whenever a creature deals combat damage to one of my opponents, exile the top card of that library is face down, and you may play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and any mana may be spent to cast that spell. So, as you can see, we're creating a team here. It's all about stealing my opponent's cards. Black Cat, the same as Gonti, 1 more mana, no Death Touch, but she looks at 9 cards, takes 2, and she will let me play lands as well. So, always nice if you're a little bit behind. Sepulchral Primordial, a classic, reanimate a creature from each opponent's graveyard when it enters. Brainstealer Dragon is a little bit of a newer edition from the Baldur's Gate set, I believe. At the beginning of your end step, exile the top card of each opponent's library. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. Whenever a non-land permanent an opponent owns enters the battlefield under your control, they lose life equal to that card's mana value. So it's always nice. Xander's Pact with Casualty 2, which means when I cast it, I may sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater to copy the spell. And it says each opponent exiles the top card of the library. You may cast spells from among those cards this turn. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to the spell's mana value rather than pay its mana cost. Cunning Torque is a bit of a defensive piece. It's whenever an opponent attacks me or a planeswalker I control, exile top card of that player's library. Praetor's Grasp lets me look through an opponent's library and exile a card. The downside for Praetor's Grasp is that I do have to pay the exact mana cost. So if it's outside of black, I need to get treasures or have other ways of generating non-black mana. But it's still a great card, even to just steal a combo piece away from your opponent. And Outrageous Robbery is just take the top X cards of your opponent's library. So that's the basic set of cards to steal my opponent's cards from their library. For the early game control, I have the Toxic Deluge, which is only 3 mana, and I can pay life into it to give all creatures -X/-X. Ravenous Chupacabra, 4 mana for destroy creature when it enters. Flashback Marauder, each player sacrifices a creature. Accursed Marauder, each player sacrifices a non-token creature. And Playcrafter, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. And each player that can't discards a card. So there's a little bit control in creature form, and then the Toxic Deluge, of course. Now, here is a little bit of a reanimation package, just to get Gonti back from my graveyard. It's Too Evil to Stay Dead is a new edition from the Marvel set. It is choose target creature card in your graveyard with mana value 4 or less. If this spell was cast using Teamwork, instead choose target creature in your graveyard. Return the chosen creature to the battlefield. So without Teamwork, I can just get Gonti back because he has power 4 or less. And if I want to get something bigger that's in my graveyard back, I'm just gonna wait up and play the Teamwork cost. The classic Reanimate and Animate Dead, of course, exist. And also the even more classic Dance of the Dead and Necromancy. And like for a one-off, the last step query to sacrifice the quarry, exile a creature, make a 4/4 black zombie copy of it. So if I choose a Gonti, I'll exile it, and then with state-based actions, I'll put it back in the command zone. Now, to get the most value out of ETB triggers, I have the Panharmonicon, of course, end of the turn, Conjurer's Closet, and an Erratic Portal, which lets you pay 1 and tap it, return target creature to its owner's hand unless its controller pays 1. So I can just tap this, target my own Gonti, not pay the 1, put Gonti back in my hand. Conjurer's Closet is a classic, of course. At the end of your beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. So you just keep flickering Gonti or other ETBs. Another classic is, of course, Grey Merchants of Asphodel. And Panharmonicon just lets you get double triggers when Gonti, Grey Merchant, Black Cat enter the battlefield. The ETB happens twice. Of course, I would not be a good player if I didn't put at least one infinite combo in the deck, which is Professor Onyx and Chain of Smog. Now, the abilities for Professor Onyx are good abilities, obviously, but the ability we care about is the Magecraft ability, which says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Pair that with the Chain of Smog, which says target player discards 2 cards from his or her hand. That player may copy the spell and choose new targets for that copy. So you cast you have the Professor Onyx out, you cast the Chain of Smog, target yourself, and the good thing is, even with no cards in your hand, you can still discard, air quotes, and just keep doing it until everybody is dead and has 0 life and you win. Now, other notable cards, now I have to start digging because I didn't prepare well. Other notable cards is, of course, Breach. You run tutors. Gary is an all-star, but of course we also run another infinite combo that I have to look up. It involves an Sensei's Divining Top, and it involves Bolas the Citadel and an Aetherflux Reservoir. So basically you keep casting stuff from the top with Bolas Citadel while you have Aetherflux on the battlefield, and every time you hit a land, you just Sensei's Divining Top, take the land in your hand, put the top on top, and then with Baldur's Citadel just keep casting the top. And basically, you either find your win cons, you get enough life out of the Aetherflux Reservoir, so you can start shooting people for 50. So yeah, that's also the combo that is in here. Um, Another fun card I started running is Gwenom. It's basically Bola Citadel on a stick. So once she attacks, her trigger goes on the stack, and you can basically play all the cards as though Bola Citadel was on the battlefield. So yeah, that is a little bit of a quick run through / deck tech for my Gonti Lord of Luxuries bracket 4 commander deck. The complete deck list can be found in my bio on the Architect link. It also has all my other decks on it. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Like, share, and yeah, I'll be back with more videos about more decks soon. Thanks for watching.